Okay, and we are live. Hello everyone, and it's Inga here from Social Media Support Club. And today I'm talking with lovely Fiona Robertson, who is body image renewer. And usually people become more conscious about their bodies around Christmas time, and about what you wear, what you eat, and all the parties, and we will become conscious not to overeat, and this is, like a struggle. And I would like to talk with Fiona today because Fiona is teaching about body wisdom. And so what's your teaching is about? And I believe that it's about philosophy of eating, but please explain, Fiona.
Yeah, it's such a huge subject, and for as long as I've been into doing my detoxes and being healthy, I've just noticed more and more and more people who are just, it becomes everything about what you eat. It becomes everything about good foods and bad foods. If I can sort of wind the clock a little bit, if I look at about when I was really becoming very body conscious, for most of us, it was about, age 12, something like that, when your body starts changing. You start hearing comments about, oh, you can't eat that, you'll get fat if you eat this, and you shouldn't eat this, and you shouldn't eat that, and it just, all this information starts coming into your head, and then you have a list of what's good, a list of what's bad, and you start having very controlling thoughts and toxic thoughts in your mind about yourself, about your body, and what you shouldn't do, and it becomes, I can even feel it now, it becomes such a confusion, such an area of, I have got no idea what I need to do to look after my body. And then as we get older, we're trying out all these magic buttons, all these types of diets. But for me, the energy of a diet is a very short-term thing. So people go on a diet to fix themselves, to fix whatever's wrong or what they perceive as wrong, but it only ever lasts a short time. Now, that's all well and good, because when you've lost the weight, or when you feel good about yourself again, and the two go hand in hand, like this, hand in hand, you start relaxing again, and you start eating what you want, and it's just, it seems to be a never-ending cycle. But the paradox is, the more it's about food, the less it becomes about food. And God, I could talk about this forever, because, and I jump all over the place because I get so excited. But it's everything to do with what and how you eat, and it's got nothing to do with what and how you eat. It's got to do with your body, and it's got to do with what you think about your body, and it's got to do with about all sorts of things that you're holding on to within your body that is causing you to overeat or perceive yourself as not good enough. It's huge, and it's very simple to overcome, but it's just a retraining of how you connect with your body again, and how you find out who you are, rather than comparing yourself to a perfect image.
Thank you. And I forgot to mention that please stay tuned with us till the end of the interview. We have a surprise. And also, if you have any questions after you listen to this talk, please post your comments, and Fiona comes back and answers them.
Yep.
So, what would you say is the most damaging thing regarding food and eating?
Yes, for me, the way I'm experiencing it, and what I've experienced with all the people that I've put people through a detox, and I've guided them with what they can and can't eat. I'll just explain a little bit before I answer that question. The way you eat and the way you approach food is almost like a window as to how you approach everything in your life. So if you are very functional as an eater, so you just eat just because you're so busy, you want to get on with something else, you don't really care, it just, oh, just stuff something in. It's often that's how you are with everything. Oh, that'll do. I'll send that out, that'll do. You're just very functional, you just want to get something done. And, you know, on the contrary, if you're a perfectionist, you can become very obsessive. So I use it as a window to just understand how you are in every relationship that you have. You'll see it how you treat people, how you treat your business, how you relate with your children. It's a window, it's a door to understand how you are and the kind of things that you're doing for yourself. To go back to your question, the most damaging thing I think you asked would definitely be more to do with how you think and how you perceive yourself, your perceptions, rather than what you put into your body. It's a very interesting phase I was in when I was really, really trying hard to be super healthy. And I became a complete snob, if you like, about superfoods and what I should eat. And I became like wanted to become a perfectionist, an idealist about this is good and this is bad. And I was told by somebody who was with me at the time, like, you are so hard on yourself. It's just not necessary. If you were more gentle with yourself, you could probably eat it. I was like, oh, I don't believe that. But as I've progressed, I've seen that that's the phase that most of us go through when we think we've got something that works. We want to stick to it so rigidly. This works for me, therefore I'm going to stick to it. But it's so depriving on your body, and there's some ways you're just not having fun. You're not enjoying what you're doing. And it becomes a very toxic way of living in a way. So you're very pure in one respect to do with your food and how you're treating yourself, maybe forcing yourself to exercise. But your perceptions are, this is bad, and if I don't do this, it's bad. And you start judging yourself and judging other people for what they're doing. Yeah, your thoughts, especially your thoughts about yourself and whether you're good enough and your body, can be one of the most damaging things that you are doing to yourself right now.
So it seems like it's nothing to do with eating.
No, imagine that you're eating the best foods. You're on this journey for having the healthiest foods, maybe juices and raw food, for example. This is kind of in an extreme way to go. But your thoughts are, oh, I wonder if I've had too much of this, or oh, I should have had this, or haven't had that for ages, or oh, maybe I wonder if I should eat chia seeds, or if I wonder how, and you're just fanatical and obsessive. And the energy of that when you're eating something it's just going all the way through. And when I've learned about emotional eating and the psychology of eating, it's just no matter what you're putting into and onto your body, let's say, the more judgmental and the harsher you are, the whole energy of what you're eating, you're putting that energy into your body as well. So you can be having the best foods, the best green juices or whatever, the best water, and it's just not going to be accepted and absorbed by your body in that way. I've been with people who have been making themselves what they classed as really healthy juices. One, they didn't look a good color, they were just a brown sludge. But because it was so full of all these healthy things that they'd just gone and bought and ticked off the list, I've got this in there, I've got that in there, I've got everything. And they were kind of almost drinking like that because they were just revolting. And you can't enjoy your food, your body won't accept it as nutrition. It's certainly not nurturing to be putting food in your body that you don't enjoy.
So what would you suggest how we can nurture ourselves so it's healthy and it's also our body accepts? So how to find that body wisdom?
How to find your body wisdom. Yeah, some of the things that I do is to really get you to slow down and understand what it is that you're doing, to really feel for yourself what's going on in your body. so that you're not taking a list of foods or a diet or a regime from somebody else that maybe worked for them. I honour that, that's fine. If it's working for them and they're happy with it, that's great. But to really know for yourself, so that you can go, wow, what do I really want to eat today? What do I find today really nourishing and attractive and tasty to eat? What does my body want? That for me would be the ultimate. Then I think somebody is really tuning in. And it is all a question of tuning in and tuning up. So you're at a particular stage and that's working for you. Fantastic. You can always tune up a little bit more and tune up a little bit more. But the best source of information is going to come from you. It's going to come from your body. Your body will be able to tell you if you're missing in a particular nutrient. And it takes a little while to understand because it's a different language than you've ever learned before. I'm still learning. I'm still tuning up. A story would be for me that, you know, every now and again somebody says, oh, she's brilliant. She can tell you everything that's going on with your body. The electrodes go through your body and it can tell you exactly what nutrients or vitamins and minerals you're missing. I was like, oh, I'm curious, so I'll go. And she picked up that maybe my thyroid was a little bit slow. And I thought, oh, wow, thyroid. So what do I need for that? Asking oh, you need iodine and you need this and you need that. I'm like, what can I get that in naturally? Because I don't like taking supplements. And she said to me, oh, seaweed. And I went, oh, my God, I've just been craving seaweed for the last month. So my body was telling me and I was craving something, but I hadn't actually tuned into it. I had been eating it, but I hadn't necessarily kind of gone, what's that there for? And it's not necessary for you to know why, all the whys and wherefores of why your body's asking you to do certain things. It's just a natural communication that you can get out of your head so much about what's good and what's bad and start listening to your body, so that the both of them work together. They work as a team.
I have a question now. How do you how can you distinguish whether it's good cravings? Because sometimes we have sugar cravings or cravings for chocolate.
Yeah.
Is it, how can we know? Is it something with how we feel, with our emotional state? So can you comment on that?
Good question. It's a sensitivity, and it's just for you to tune in for yourself. I do it because I can sometimes I can't do it either. It's just like, oh my God, I'm feeling emotional, or I'm missing comfort, or I'm not fulfilled with something, and something's happening and I'm overwhelmed. I'll naturally go for a particular kind of food, or I'll ram something in, and then I'll kind of go, oh, why did I just do that? So you're continually inquiring of your body, why did I do that? So I haven't done that for a long time, so why would I be stuffing something in? And for me it would always be crisps, it's salt. So when you stop and ask, and you don't necessarily get the answer, but you become more aware. How would you know what a good craving is as opposed to a natural need for a nutrition in your food, in your new food? Well, I ask my body, and at the moment I can get a kind of a yes, that's good for you, and a no, that's not good for you, by the way my body reacts. And it's not coming from the head, because your head gets thrown into all the beliefs and all the values and the perceptions that we think are good, that we've learned. And you try and remember, now, what was that good for? It's not necessary. And when I can do it and I get to a peaceful place, then I can ask my body, is this better for me or is that better for me? And it's just it's enough sometimes just to have the time to stop and ask, that'll stop you ramming something in. You kind of go, well, what would I do if it wasn't food related? What would I do to fill this gap, this hole, this need that I seem to have? And sometimes it's just a cuddle. And sometimes it's, I haven't been very social lately. I haven't laughed a lot lately, or where's the fun? And it's so many other things that we need to fulfill ourselves. And as a coach, you'll always know that you're always concentrating most on what's lacking the most. So it could be financially, it could be love, it could be social, it could be enjoyment. You know, there's the whole realm of things that it could be. I hope that answered your question. Just
Yeah,
a little.
yeah, totally. I understand it. And you know, and it's sometimes we can become aware, but when we are getting busy, or especially now Christmas, we think about presents, we think about financial aspects of all the giving presents, organizing parties, or attending parties, and it becomes very stressful. So how can you help your clients with dealing with the stress, eating, and so what do you teach your clients about how to deal with stress?
Ooh, I would just say, when you can, take some time for yourself. That would be the first and foremost. And to start finding out about yourself first, because food, if you don't find out about yourself, then food becomes your only source for comfort.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're stressed, it's so easy. You know, some people eat, some people drink, some people smoke, but the people I'm talking to are people who've used and abused food, and I recognize that myself. The best way is to become aware, and the best way to become aware is to just slow down. And if you don't know what's going on inside you, then you're going to become overwhelmed. And sometimes what I'm finding out is I'm thinking, God, I'm so stressed. This is just, you know, it's just getting to me. And because of my upbringing or certain situations in my life, if I'm at a dinner table, for example, and there's food everywhere and everybody's chatting and there's this kind of energy going on, and I can pick up on that energy, and I'm thinking, oh, actually, is that my energy or is that the energy of the surroundings? Sometimes the energy of the surroundings overwhelms me, and then it becomes this. It becomes, because food is a natural relaxant. That's why people use food. And I'll be using food to kind of slow myself down. But if I can remember, and at those times kind of go, oh, okay, breathe, deep breathing, sitting and just stepping back a little bit, not trying to, you know, answer all the questions or talk to your children or see what's going on or that noise over there, and it's just overwhelming. Just really getting back into your own body and finding out, what do I feel about that? How relaxed am I in this particular situation? And then you won't be overwhelmed and trying to shut that out with overeating or eating something that you wouldn't normally. So you're often picking up on the energy of other people around you, which makes you act in a certain way. But if you know who you are and you know what your energy is like, and this is what I teach, then you can get back to that quicker next time, and then quicker the next time, and easier the next time. And you know who you are and what you need.
Wow, I've learned so much just within this short period of time that, and I do remember that sometimes I have cravings and I don't realize that it's my body asking and giving me signals that I need to address and listen. And it's really difficult, I find, to stop and listen. And for me, it seems like an art to listen to your body. And can you tell, so what is the surprise to the listeners, to the viewers? How can they learn at least a little bit how to listen to themselves, to their body wisdom?
Cool. I want to offer people who want to contact me, and the email's below, so you just contact me on info@retreatbiarritz.com. I want to offer you a session with me so that I can just take you through what it is that I do, so that you get a taster of what is actually possible for you, and maybe it's something that you've never experienced before. So that's what I'm offering. So contact me, and it's fun. Let's play, you know, and let's just discover who you are and how you feel and then it's something that you'll always remember. I used to say that with my detox as well. You'll never be the same again. So once you've tested this and you begin to discover who you are, and it's just a constant journey as everything is. So you learn that, and then you learn that, and then you become aware of that emotion, then you become of your reaction to that emotion. It's magical.
Great, thank you. So it will be email also below, so you can just copy and paste it and send to Fiona, and you can arrange the session about your body wisdom breakthrough, and maybe it will be the best Christmas for the first time.
Well,
Okay.
it's part of a long journey, and it's magical and it's fascinating. And if this is the time you start, I honour you. I think that's fantastic. So welcome. Just come on in and contact me.
I think it's the best gift for Christmas what we can give to ourselves, to take care.
Yeah. And if you have children like I do, they've been such an education for me, because as I've gone through certain phases, I've tried to enforce it on them. And it's just an education that you can pass on to somebody else as well. Just make them aware of what is it that you want.
Exactly. Thank you, Fiona. And I'm sure you will be happy to come back and answer any questions or comments, which will be later on.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.